Crew of the Shenzhou 19 spacecraft land back safely after a 24-hour delay due to unfavorable weather conditions at the landing site. Negative equity on Hong Kong mortgages edges up marginally in the first quarter to hit a 21-year high. And Financial Secretary Paul Chan revises Hong Kong's deficit to just over $80 billion as the Legislative Council approves this year's budget bill. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Jeremy Zhu. The Shenzhou 19 crew has successfully landed back on Earth in Inner Mongolia, with all three astronauts in good health after completing their 6-month space station mission. The return capsule touched down at Dongfeng landing site at 1:08 p.m. local time, kicking up clouds of dust upon impact. The return, originally planned on Tuesday, was postponed due to bad weather conditions at the landing site. Medical teams confirmed the astronauts Cai Shizhe, Song Lingdong, and Wang Haoze were in excellent condition before exiting the capsule. Mission Commander Cai, now China's most experienced spacewalker with 5 extravehicular activities, was the first to emerge. The second one to exit was the youngest crew member Song Lingdong, who became China's first post-90s generation astronaut to perform a spacewalk. The last one was Wang Haoze, who made history as the first female flight engineer to live aboard the orbital outpost. The astronauts will undergo standard quarantine in Beijing. The 90-day mission saw the crew conduct 3 record-breaking spacewalks, including a world record 9-hour EVA. They completed 88 scientific experiments aboard the Tiangong station since their October 2024 launch. The number of negative equity cases rebounded to the highest level in more than 21 years, as an increasing number of mortgage borrowers in the city saw the value of their properties dropping at a quicker rate than their loan amounts. Bess Luan reports.
The estimated number of residential mortgage loans in negative equity soared to 40,741 cases at the end of March, marking a 6% jump from end December and a significant rise of 27% from the previous year, according to the Hong Kong Monetary Authority. It was the highest number of cases in more than 21 years, since the fourth quarter of 2003, when cases hit 67,575. The aggregate value of these mortgage loans in negative equity reached $205.9 billion at end March, a 5% rise from the previous quarter. The HKMA said as residential property prices saw a drop of 1.7% during the period, the rise in the number of cases was expected. Notably, these cases predominantly pertain to housing loans of bank employees or RMLs under mortgage insurance schemes, typically characterized by a higher loan-to-value ratio. The unsecured component of these loans climbed to $16.4 billion by March from $14.5 billion in December, while the 3-month delinquency ratio remained low at 0.17%, indicating that the repayment ability of mortgage borrowers remains stable, said the de facto central bank. Bess Luan, Cable News.
The Legislative Council passed the annual budget bill for the new financial year.
我宣布議案獲得通過。
For the second year, the appropriation bill was passed in an anonymous third reading. Financial Secretary Paul Chan further revised the fiscal deficit to $80.3 billion from the previously estimated $87.2 billion. The adjustment reflects stronger stock stamp duty revenues and lower government spending. Chan acknowledged external economic challenges, but stressed Hong Kong must recognize its inherent strength. With strong national support and Hong Kongers' resilience and adaptability, he is confident that the city could transform difficulties into opportunities. The finance chief highlighted that while facing new geopolitical realities, technological advancements present fresh opportunities, calling for united efforts between the government and different sectors to develop new quality productive forces through continuous innovation. The Audit Commission has urged the Buildings Department step up enforcement of issuing warning letters and fixed penalty notices for non-compliance after they found over 26,000 window inspection notices have yet to be handled. Evelyn Bai has more details.
By the end of 2024, a total of 26,647 notices under the mandatory window inspection scheme failed to be complied with, among which 43% were overdue by an average of 6.5 years. Between January 2017 and December 2024, the BD recorded 445 window fall incidents, resulting in 1 death and 7 injuries. 2/3 of these incidents occurred in buildings not listed in one of its nomination lists for blocks with relatively higher potential risk. The audit examination revealed that 372 buildings with relatively higher potential risk were excluded from the selection, which covers 483 blocks. Another list includes buildings with records of window falls or those with generally poor or dilapidated windows within a year. However, the Commission found that in 2023 and 2024, 11 and 20 such buildings respectively were omitted from this list. The BD explains that compiling these lists involves considering the causes of window falls and whether these buildings have received notices over the past 5 or 10 years, as well as their compliance status. The Commission suggested these criteria should be clearly outlined in the guidelines and strengthening actions such as issuing warning letters, penalty notices, and referring cases for prosecution to tighten up enforcement. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
A 22-year-old man has appeared in West Kowloon Magistrates Court after he was arrested and charged by the National Security Police upon knowingly publishing seditious materials under Safeguarding National Security Ordinance. The man, reportedly a restaurant worker, was arrested by National Security Police on Monday. The prosecution alleges between June 27th last year and May 28th this year, the defendant posted content on social media platforms X and Instagram intended to incite hatred or contempt against the country's fundamental systems. The posts allegedly included slogans such as Free Hong Kong, Revolution Now, the song Glory to Hong Kong, encouraged unlawful means to change policies established by the central government or Hong Kong authorities, and promoted disobedience of local laws. West Kowloon Magistrates Court denied bail, with the case adjourned until June 12th. The defendant remains in custody. 2 workers in Wan Chai were rescued by firefighters after their gondola tilted to one side, leaving them stranded 20 stories above ground. Authorities received an urgent call around 11:30 this morning, reporting that 2 workers were stranded on a gondola attached to the exterior wall of Yueshou building on Lockhart Road. Upon arrival, firefighters descended from the rooftop to reach the gondola, secured the workers with safety harnesses, and brought them to the rooftop. The workers reached solid ground unharmed after an hour-long rescue operation. Celebrating 100 days of his second term in office, U.S. President Donald Trump hailed the achievements of his administration. Calling the event 100 Days of Greatness, Trump claimed he had delivered the most profound change in Washington in more than a century. Evelyn Bai tells us more.
At a campaign-style rally in the city of Detroit, which is home to the U.S. auto industry, Trump ticked all boxes, claiming inflation was in check, energy prices and mortgage rates had fallen, more than 65,000 illegal immigrants were deported, and the job market was robust during the first 100 days of his second term.
But I'm thrilled to be back in this beautiful state with thousands of proud, hard-working American patriots. And we're here tonight in the heartland of our nation to celebrate the most successful first 100 days of any administration in the history of our country, and that's according to many, many people.
Defending the implementation of tariffs on America's trading partners, especially China, Trump reiterated that car manufacturers are eager to set up plants in the United States.
After decades of politicians who destroyed Detroit to build up Beijing, you finally have a champion for workers in the White House, and instead of putting China first, I'm putting Michigan first, and I'm putting America first. China's taken more jobs from us than any country has ever taken from another country, and that doesn't mean we're not going to get along. We'll get along with China. I mean, their tariff now is at 145%, so essentially, that's a big difference between that and zero.
Opinion polls indicate that Trump's popularity has fallen tremendously since he took office just over 3 months ago. Claiming such polls to be fake, Trump said, "We've just gotten started. We haven't seen anything yet." Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 111 points. Top active stocks of the day: Xiaomi was up $2.50, Tencent was up $4.20. Meituan was down $1.80, and AIA was up $3.55. Foreign exchange against the Hong Kong dollar: Euro 8.82, Australian dollar 4.95. Hong Kong Exchanges and Clearing, the city's bourse operator, posted record-high first-quarter profit thanks to the increasing number of new listings and surging turnover. Best Learn reports.
Net profit jumped 37% to $4.08 billion, beating a consensus estimate of $3.99 billion and the previous record of $3.84 billion set in the first quarter of 2021. Revenue rose 36% to $6.3 billion. Average daily turnover reached a quarterly high of $247.7 billion, more than double that of the same period last year. On the initial public offering front, 17 companies went public in the first quarter, raising a total of $18.7 billion, a 2.9 times leap over the same period last year. Follow-on offerings, including share placement, had seen listed companies raising $140.7 billion in funds during the period, surging 4.4 times. Chief Executive Officer Bonnie Chan noted that during the quarter, Hong Kong ranked in the world's top 5 IPO venues, and the growth momentum carried over to the second quarter with 120 active listing applications in the pipeline. Best Learn Cable News.
Onto the weather now. Mainly cloudy with a few showers tomorrow, hot with a chance of isolated thunderstorms in the afternoon. Expect similar conditions over the following couple of days. That's our news tonight. I'm Jeremy Zhu. Thank you for watching and good night.